Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for watching this video. Basically, I am back filming video after 3 months break, and it's been a while. I've not been on YouTube, but thank you to everybody for being so patient and kind to me. And some of you have been, messaging me on Instagram. I've been quite active over there. Anyway, so today I just thought I'll start off the first video with my labor story, like how my delivery went, etc. To be honest, I had a really good experience this time as well. I'm gonna do like a comparison of like my first labor and delivery as well as this time around. So it has been very, very positive, and I had been really calm. I was calmer first time around as well, but this time I felt much in control. I knew what was going on since I had already had experience before. So anyway, let's start this video. I had my baby in June. I delivered 4 kg baby, which is around 8 pounds. So yeah, I had a natural birth and I had a little bit of tear, not much, and I only used gas and air, no epidural. And I also had codeine tablets, which is a little bit stronger than paracetamol for pain relief. So yeah, that is in short how I delivered my baby. This time I actually had my second one on exactly due date, which was quite a surprise for me as well as the midwives, because we were not really expecting her to come on 40 weeks. So basically we have named our little one Misha, which means gift of God, and we are really pleased to have her. Like I said earlier, I had her during 40 weeks, but before 40 weeks, around 38 weeks, I had like really painful pain, Braxton Hicks, slightly contraction going on, which wasn't great. I was supposed to actually have maternity photo shoot on 38 weeks, but unfortunately I couldn't do it because I had Braxton Hicks throughout the day as well as night. So it was really, really painful at times, but it was kind of like, I would say, bearable. Still, I was able to bear that pain. I was a little bit worried that she was gonna come on that day, so I had to cancel the shoot. And next day, like 39 weeks, there was nothing at all. I had no pain. I was back to normal, and I just thought she might be overdue. So that is what I was thinking. But at 40 weeks, at 5 in the morning while I was asleep, I could feel like pain. It was like a little bit contraction. I had that from 5 in the morning. It was going throughout the day, and at times when it was painful, I made sure that the pain doesn't take over me. So I tried to distract myself by doing like a lot of other things. I did yoga, and then I went for a walk as well, and I actually did Swiss ball exercise, which I actually did throughout my pregnancy. Those are 3 things I actually did quite actively during my pregnancy. So that is what I was doing, trying to distract. And I had a feeling like she might come on that day. I decided to do like a photo shoot at home. We did that, and still it was fine. I did take hot water bath with Himalayan salt to ease the pain, so that is what I did. Around 6 in the evening I had my dinner, and then the pain actually became quite intense. I had one contraction every 5 minutes, so that was lasting from 35 seconds up to 50 seconds. So that is how it was going on. I wasn't sure whether I should call labor line. I was really concerned if I was going into like active labor now. So I actually rang up labor line because I wasn't sure what to do. I actually waited for 1 hour before I called labor line. So basically around 7 p.m. I actually give them a call. So I explained to them what is happening with me and how many contractions I was getting. So they asked me timings, so I give them timings, and the lady on the phone was like, oh, are you all right to go to hospital? And I was like, all right, okay, I'm fine to go. And then I actually went to hospital. By the time we reached, it was 6:30 in the evening. They asked me for the birth plan because I didn't have a birth plan planned beforehand. So they asked me whether I want to have water birth or do like a normal birth. I just went for a normal birth. They took me to the room, and the midwife said she will check me like how much I have dilated. I had a feeling that I might not have dilated that much, but anyway, she found out I had only dilated like 2 centimeters. So she was like, oh, you have only dilated 2 centimeters. You have gone into labor, but you are not having like active labor at the moment. So she was like, you have 2 options. You can stay at hospital and just go for a walk. That might actually help to intensify the contraction, or go home. So that was the option I was given. And I wasn't so sure what to do in case, I start to have like really intense contraction. So we weren't sure, and the midwife was like, you can think about it, I'll come back in a few minutes. And yeah, by the time she came back, I went into intense labor. I was having like 3-4 contraction in 5 minutes, and she noticed that as well. And she was like, okay, you can stay here, you are already having active contraction now, like you have gone to active labor. So we stayed in hospital, and the pain was really, really intolerable. Guess what I did next thing? I actually sat on Swiss ball. I found Swiss ball much more like comfortable, to be honest. I sat on Swiss ball and I was literally at the edge of the bed, holding on to bed. When the contraction came, I was focusing more on my breathing. Last time around, oh my god, the first time I actually lost the plot because of the pain. The pain basically took me over. Even though I tried so hard to focus on my breathing in and out, I couldn't do it. But this time I really didn't want pain to take me over. And the reason why I really didn't want pain to take over is because I really wanted to save my energy for the end, for the pushing part. So that is why I actually focused more on breathing, and I really wanted to save my energy. Last time around, I was in pain for 18 hours, so which was not good. So yeah, I had used gas and air last time. So yeah, after a couple of hours, I actually asked for gas and air, and they gave me gas and air, which was really, really helpful. Also, Nav was doing a lot of back massage while I was having contractions. That helped a great deal. Another thing the midwife did for me was she bought like heat pad for my back. She asked me whether I wanted one, and I was like more than happy to have one. So she provided me heat pad, which she put on my back, and actually she did like a really good thing. She actually tied it around my this waist area, and whenever I was having contraction, that heat really, really helped. First time around, I actually didn't notice where the pain was coming from. I felt like it was the whole tummy area and back, but this time I actually found out it was more on the pelvic area as well as on the back that I was getting a lot of pain. So that heat pad really helped when I got contraction. The best thing was there were 2 midwives. So one was student midwife and another one was like a proper midwife. They did ask me whether I wanted to have a student midwife because she was on training. I was like more than happy to have her, and actually it was great having her because she was with me all the time. She was the one who actually offered me heat pad, and when I was not having contraction, we were chatting with her. Most of the time actually both of them stayed with me, which didn't happen last time around. Last time I was left in the room with Nab. Anyway, this time around I was very calm. Even the midwife, both of them were like, oh my god, you are so calm. And I said to her, I don't have any option. That's the only option I have, to stay calm. I was thinking of really, really positive things while I was getting contraction, those pain. I was thinking, oh, it's going to be over very soon. But I couldn't wait for my water to break, because when the midwife checked the first time, she did say to me like she could feel the baby head and there is water in between. So she was like, the water has to break and then baby is ready to come. So after 5.5 hours of being in hospital with that contraction going on, the midwife decided to check. She wanted to basically check how much I had dilated. As soon as she checked, my water broke. It was like whoosh. So my water broke and I was like really pleased, because I knew like this is the time to give birth now. At that point, unfortunately, I couldn't feel contraction anymore. I don't know, it was like really weird, because first time around I could feel contraction and I started pushing, but this time I couldn't feel contraction, I think for a bit. And then she was saying you need to push, and I wasn't sure when to push because I was waiting for a contraction to come. I did try to push few times, but it was really hard. I found like when giving birth, I know contraction is quite hard, but the pushing part is the hardest. My god. Oh my god, I think I can tolerate contractions, but pushing part always gets me. Like, I know I can push, but still, that scares me sometimes. Actually, before having like the second one, when I had Braxton Hicks around 38 weeks, I was a little bit worried. As I was saying, I was asked to push, and I literally was on bed, sat and tried to push so hard. I had to clutch like those little bars on the side of the bed. So I was like clutching that really hard, trying to push baby out. Only when I got contraction. You are not supposed to push when you are not getting contraction, because if you do that, nothing is going to happen. You are basically going to lose your energy. So whenever contraction comes, then you push. So that is what I was told to do. So I was doing that, but I felt like the baby was not coming. I tried few times, and then the midwife suggested that I should actually change my position, because I had Nia last time while I was sat on bed facing the midwife. I don't know how to say it, but I hope it's making sense. And also I had a leg guard. I think it's called leg guard. So your legs are up in the air and then you push your baby out. This time around, I completely forgot about the leg guard, and also the midwife, they probably forgot as well, because it was like so intense. They were saying, oh, push, push. Now we're saying push. And I was in so much pain that I completely forgot about that. And also, before I forget to mention, I had like energy bar, which I showed you on my hospital bag. I had one of them while I was having contraction. I think it was maybe halfway through I had that one. I don't remember exactly what time I had, and I had a little bit of Lucozade drink. That really helped me to push the baby out. So I had to change the position. I actually knelt, and my head was kind of like did exactly opposite of what I was doing earlier. So instead of sitting on bed, I actually turned around. I was on my knees on the bed, so my head was facing the bed. So what I did was I placed my head on the top of the bed, and my hands were on the bed. So basically I actually pushed, kind of like put a lot of pressure on my hands as well as on my head. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if it's making sense, but I hope it does. So that is how I was pushing. I was pushing like really, really hard. And at one point I said to midwife, she's not going to come out, because I was pushing so much. I kind of like felt like, oh, she's not going to come out. I might have to have like operation. I kind of like thought that. Also, another thing I want to say at this point, which I completely forgot, first time around as well, I actually didn't use epidural. I don't want to say like I'm anti-epidural. I'm not really anti-epidural. It's just the reason I really didn't have epidural is I wanted to wait until like a very last moment, until I really, really need this epidural, because I was told by friends, once you have epidural, you get like really bad back pain. Also, another thing is my pain threshold is really, really good. I can bear a lot of pain. I knew that for myself, so that's the reason why I waited until the end for epidural. First time when I had my first baby, I was thinking to have epidural because I had contraction for 18 hours, and I had reached to the point where I kind of like was thinking maybe I should have epidural now, but luckily I had dilated 10 centimeter. So if I had not dilated 10 centimeter, I would have probably taken epidural. But this time around, it was so much more quicker. Like I only had labor 5.5 hours. That is seriously nothing in comparison to first time around when I had 18 hours contraction. So I was really, really pleased that it was a short one. And a lot of people said the more you have baby, the more it's going to be shorter. And I honestly didn't believe it, because obviously labor is quite different for everybody. But usually most of the people had said to me it's going to be quicker second time, and it did, which is great. So anyway, coming to the point of pushing baby, so I was pushing Misha really hard. But the thing I noticed was like the contraction wasn't as intense as I had Nia. So Nia came out within like 4 push. I don't remember how many times I pushed Misha, seriously. So I kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and then they started saying, oh, we can see the head, come on, push hard. So I was thinking on the back of my mind, oh my god, it's just like I have to push the head, and once the head is out, she's gonna slip out. And I pushed the head out, but she didn't slip through like I expected. With Nia, I pushed her head out and she just came out like her body slipped through. That is what I was expecting. And it never happened. So the midwife was like, oh, her head is out, you just need to push her body out. Oh my god. it was hard to push her out. And I think the reason why is because she was a big baby. So I pushed her out, and the moment I pushed her out, I was like, oh my God, it's all done. Thank God it's all done. I was like that. And I could hear them saying like, oh, it's a big baby, it's a big baby. My back was facing midwife. I couldn't see like how big the baby was. And then they actually handed me her, and I saw her. She was massive. I really never expected to have 4 kg baby naturally. I'd actually heard few people having 4 kg, like 8 pounds baby naturally, and I used to wonder like how people do that. I used to think, oh my God, they're so powerful, like really strong. And I never thought I'll be having like 4 kg baby. After birth, honestly, I felt like really positive and really happy, obviously, because Misha was there. Also, another reason for that was because I had delivered a very big baby, and I was like in shock, how I could be able to do it. I feel like we women are so powerful that we don't even realize that to give a birth is definitely not an easy experience. But yeah, do try to think very positive. I kept thinking quite positively throughout the time, and I knew like if anything went wrong, there are qualified people with experience to help me. So I was kind of like at ease, to be honest. And guess what, second time around, raising a child is much more easier. That is what I found. Misha is really calm. She has been so good to us. Basically, I felt invincible after having baby, like after having Misha. So I was kind of like so proud of myself. Little bit. And even my mom was like shocked to know that I had 4 kg baby. She was like, oh my God, that's a big baby, because I was constantly sick. As you all know, if you have watched my trimester video, then you guys know I had HG, hyperemesis gravidarum. So I was sick all the time. It was only 3 weeks before I gave birth I started eating well. Most of the time I was sick, throwing up. But yes, I did keep myself very active, doing lots of yoga. I would suggest doing, yeah, if you're comfortable, do like pregnancy yoga. There are a lot out there on YouTube. I'll link the one I actually did first time as well as this time, the yoga video down below, and also all my trimester video down, and also the video of my last labor story, which I'll put it down on description box if you guys want to check out. So yeah, basically don't underestimate yourself. You are really powerful. This time around, I kind of like realized, oh my God, I'm really strong than I thought. I'm much more calmer. I feel like after having Misha, like a big baby, I feel like I can conquer anything in this world, like anything life throws at me, basically. So I had a really positive experience. The midwives were really great. Another thing I want to say is I found using Swiss ball really helpful, especially when I was getting contraction. It was really good. First time around when I had my first child, I actually didn't use Swiss ball at all, which I wish I had used. I sat on Swiss ball until I was ready to give birth. So it really helped me. So if there are any pregnant ladies out there, good luck. I'm sending you all the positive vibes. I hope it goes well for you. And also stay calm, stay positive, do things like that might help you during childbirth, like using Swiss ball, maybe even like hot water bath as well. You can do that. Ask your partner for back massage. That helps a lot, especially when you get contraction. Oh my God. And heat pad as well. Ask midwives heat pad. They might be able to give you some. That is my tips for you, and that is how my delivery went. I'm really happy second time around. And I mean, like first time around I was happy as well, because I really didn't have like a bad experience. I feel like every pregnancy, every labor is very different. A lot of people ask me actually after I had Misha, because on the day I was updating on Insta stories, saying, oh, I'm getting contractions, but I'm doing this and that. So I was updating people, and after a few hours when I actually put an Instagram story of saying I gave birth, so they were like surprised. They were like, oh my God, it just happened so quick. And they were asking me if it wasn't like easy. I feel like from my experience that childbirth is never easy, honestly. Even if you have it like naturally or cesarean, I feel like childbirth is never easy. The pushing part is the hardest part, which I feel like the contraction when we have is the same no matter how many kids you have. The contraction feels the same, is the exact pain. There is no like less or more pain. It's just the length of contraction can be different. For some people it can be shorter, for some people it can be longer. So that is my experience this time around with labor. I hope you find this a little bit motivating and positive. I don't know what else to say, but all I can say is please stay active while you're pregnant. Do a lot of Swiss ball exercise. Go for a walk. If you don't like exercise, go for a walk. That is all I can say. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on my next one. Till then, take care. Bye.